Yeah.
Hello. So, I see that everything is blue today. The background, your t-shirt, our names. Technically, the sweater is marine, bleu marine, so we are
Okay, I
good.
see. Yeah, we are all in sync in terms of colors. That's very nice. Yeah.
So
I
now,
see.
let me dive in. What are we talking about today, Martin?
As far as I'm aware, I recently made a website. I had zero time to actually like make it properly working. So I mean, as like the content is there, the website is there. I'm not happy with the content. I'm not happy with like the lack of lots of cool shit, and I keep forgetting cool shit. And you keep reminding me. So I thought we bring it into this show to just like talk about how to make a website better.
So, I think this is a very, very good take on it. Why? Because everybody thinks that you, Gary, John, just know everything about SEO, but also everyone else's website. I see the questions that come through and I'm like, how are they even supposed to guess how this works? You have given half of the information. And then, even if you are provided with 100% of the information, you're like, hey, I'm a human being. I'm doing my best here. Here's the documentation. Here's how it's supposed to work. So
Mhm.
now you're on the other side. You have your
Mhm.
own website, and it's kind of a huge pressure because whenever you want to do something nice, you feel the pressure to be perfect, to actually be 100% optimized, etc. And that's not the point of your website right now. So
Right.
tell me a bit more about why you have that website.
Right. So, having been subjected to various first aid courses, I have seen a variety of quality, basically. I have seen really good courses. I've seen courses where I was not exactly excited. And so I decided to become an instructor and actually provide first aid courses as well. And now we need to make a website to actually share with people, to actually be found and actually offer our services. We are offering our services to different kinds of people. So there's like people who need the first aid course for their job. Other people need to just or want to refresh it. It's voluntary. You don't have to refresh it normally, but some people just want to refresh it. Some people want to do like a full-blown certified course that's like a day. Basically it's like 10 hours and they want to learn everything about first aid and get like a little certificate because they need it for the job, for a driving license, whatever. Other people just want to know how to respond properly in an emergency and they don't have the time or are not willing to invest the money. So we have a short version of that course that is like 1 or 2 hours, and where they only learn the basics and don't really get a certificate or anything. So that different people come for different reasons. There's also people who we are trying to sell the service to. So usually we would be offering them through driving schools or for insurances and their members and stuff like that. So other people might come and want to know if we are a trustworthy organization that they could get the training from they need. Yeah, so there's like multiple audiences. There's multiple languages involved because we offer these courses in German and English. Switzerland also has Italian and French, hypothetically, as official languages, though none of us speaks them. So I'm not sure if I want to offer results in that language or not. And yeah, there's like a bunch of stuff that needs to be done, and I just really don't have the time.
And it sounds like you have your priorities in order in terms of your project. You know
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you're going to offer, to whom, and why, and how they're going
Mm-hmm.
to use it. The key issue I potentially see is that you, Martin, are known as a Google employee and not necessarily a CPR master. So, what's your reputation in the medical field, or what are the signals that you could provide to humans first? Now, let's not even talk about bots. That would say, yeah, you know what? You can trust me. This is not shady, even though the website may not be as cool or as medical as the others. This is the
Yeah,
real stuff.
yeah. So we are a registered organization. I hold certifications as instructor for both, well, actually for SRC, for EFR, and for ASTRA, which are three different organizations giving credentials to first aid instructors and also giving out certifications. I have been an apprentice nurse in the past, so I did actually have to deal with this stuff and learn this stuff while working in a hospital. And I'm a trained rescue diver. So yeah, we have a bit of, also in our organization, there is a paramedic, and he trains paramedics as well. So we get like information from the source basically as well. So yeah, we need to somehow convey this. And this feels a lot like work, and I can't be arsed, to be honest.
I know. That's why you're going to show me your about page right now, and we're quickly going to do Control F and find all the acronyms. And if they're not there, you just know that they have to be there. That's
it. Excellent. Excellent. So
it's petrifying, isn't it?
It is absolutely. Oh my God. It's so scary to do this on camera in public, but here we go.
You know what? I honestly feel really happy that I get to help on this, because it's one of those situations where in the past I have looked for this type of information, and the stuff I saw coming up, I was like, I could either bake a casserole or maybe save someone's life with your instructions. I'm very confused. This is not going to go well.
So this is the landing page.
Yeah.
In German.
And yes, this we need to take a moment, Martin, and discuss this. You have a tendency to invite me into German content, and I'm 30% Duolingo fluent in German. That means I can maybe read half of the restaurant menu. So the CPR adventure is going to be, thank you, but I was going to try it.
Okay. I'll take us back to the German version. There we go.
So I know that it's not Lieben, but I just want to say that I know what Lieben means, like something to do with love. This is Leben, so I'm guessing maybe something to live. I'm guessing totally. It is?
Yeah, Leben is life.
I completely guessed out of this, just looking at it. So your content is already helping. So now I have a question. Do you actually have an about page?
We actually do, yes.
Take me there. So who we are, our mission, our standards, and contact. Maybe what we need is our expertise and our qualifications, and that's it. You don't need to make it fancier, but having this is already a big signal. If you say that you're certified in all of these things, but it's recorded, Martin.
Oh, right. It is recorded. Yeah, but then I don't know. People love to learn from videos. I honestly, truly despise it. I hate it because you can't skim through. You can't just like thumb through. It just,
So I have a specific situation, and I'm going to give a shout out to somebody who doesn't know me. There is a lovely human being teaching others how to use Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics at Measure School. And that was like way back in the day. And full disclosure, love the content, could not handle the videos. I had to use the feature that makes the person speak 1.5 times faster to actually make these videos decent for me. And it's one of those things where there's some students like you and I have to take notes too. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, but it's recorded because I don't have to listen to this. But yeah, I would deeply advise everyone to figure out how they learn best, because hey, I'm 35 years old, I'm still learning. That's something you got to figure out. So me, I take notes, you take notes. Some people it's video, some people it's audio. Just go for it, make up your own mix. So now, concretely, we have this about page, and I'm going to give advice that is not necessarily just SEO, it's human being stuff. You're telling me about this team. You're telling me that there's somebody on there who's a paramedic, etc. Yeah. Where's your picture?
Yeah, you're right.
And don't tell me that feels like work. I'm pretty sure you can find some obscure diving pictures where we can't even tell if it's a human or a log advancing in the shadows.
Yeah.
So we have the picture issue. Fine, you can do this on a trip together while you have a socially distanced picnic. This is awesome. Now,
yeah.
I also think that if you have a CPR dummy, I would enjoy having the dummy be part of the team. I'm just saying,
It
this is
is.
not
Yeah.
marketing. This is me
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So,
We have a lovely team of 3, as far as I remember, as in 3 dummies, or 4
okay,
even.
but no, 3. It's perfect. You can do like Martin's Angels. Yes. Creepy 70s and 2000s because they had a reboot, and then actually 2020s reboot. So
Oh
technically
my
everybody knows
god.
what I'm talking about. Yep. Culture. So we have this. We have picture, expertise, and accreditation. So now it's very clear. Like it's very, very clear that this company, this
Mhm.
organization is legit. We trust them. Now, my next question for you. So we understand that, hey, you're showing off your expertise. Great.
Mhm.
Could you link out potentially to the sites that gave you your accreditations, your certifications? Do they exist? I mean,
Yes.
online. I know they exist,
I
period.
I think that these two actually, these are the links to the organizations.
Aha. So now this leads me to the next question. Are you listed on their website by any chance?
No, and they don't do that. That's the unfortunate thing. It's really
Oh,
annoying.
that's really sad.
I could, and so here's the hilarious one. So we are not listing Astra, which I just realized we need to do that. We are not the way that this works is a little confusing. We are working on being a certified provider for Astra courses because currently we are providing them through another provider. They do list the providers that are certified, but they do so, you're going to love this, in a PDF that you can download from their website.
It's okay. So I actually do know the situation because I help some small cities and museums here in Quebec. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want to know when to take out your garbage in some villages, you need to download the PDF. It's not available
Oh
on the website. There's no way you
my.
can click on it. So people share this PDF link on Facebook like it's gold. So, is there any chance you could ask them to optimize that PDF? Is it available online?
It's online. It's a government
Oh, yes.
agency. I
So,
think they just can't be
no.
arsed.
Yes, but if you want to throw the fear of God in them, you should email them and tell them that their PDF is not accessible.
Oh,
Yes. So
ooh.
this is one of those things where as an SEO, the first thing you think about is, yeah, that's an obstacle. Can I scale it? Yeah, I can. So you can imagine me climbing and going, "Hi, what's up?" And this actually worked for some of my clients. We just went, "Hey, you don't have this information. We have it on our website. It's always up to date. We have a great database. Everybody linked to us. Great." Over the years, it snowballed, and now every single city is pointing out to the like electric vehicle charging stations on that website.
That is
So,
amazing. God, that
oh,
is
that's a story for
awesome.
another time. Yes, yes. Actually, this does bring me back to something else. So, I can use this as a jumping point. We have an anecdote together that you may or may not remember. So,
Oh.
I worked I worked parallel to you in one of your companies, and
Oh yeah.
we had a strange situation. So, this company sold technically nothing that existed yet, and I don't mean that in their generic startup sense. I mean that in the sense of they could recreate, you know, the Simpsons apartment, and you could visit it with your cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Just use what are they called? The Google Glasses, like the cardboard thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you're on your way. So they could recreate spaces that existed, never existed, or could potentially exist. And
Mm-hmm.
that's great for us to understand buildings better, but how the hell do you market this?
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the amazing things that I found as an opportunity as an SEO, how do we get people to talk about this company? Well, the team had built a pavilion, an architecture pavilion, virtually based on the plans that were made public. But this pavilion was opening in 2 months in London. So this pavilion, I went to the team. I went, this does seem to be a recurring thing. They do build things. I'm like, yes, every year. And I'm like, okay, it's a big deal. Ah, yes. So I write it down, and then I Googled and I looked at every single blog, architecture blog, or press website that had spoken about this architectural expo. I emailed all of them. Do you want to visit the pavilion in advance, a month before it opens? We can help you. So of course, everybody was very interested. So I went, here is the link to visit the pavilion. And please, we have an article on our website. Do not hesitate to point to that instead of just embedding the model. And if you do embed the model, it was set up in a way that there would be a link to the proper website. And this helped the company get noticed in their industry, architecture, and in some regions that they wanted to target. So that was great. I don't think you knew about that story, Ian, did you?
I don't know. No, that never made its way to me.
So now I have a question for you. How are you going to get people to know about your organization? Where is it listed? How can we find it? How can we make sure it's legit? Who's talking about you?
Very good question. So currently the plan is to reach out to a bunch of driving schools, because currently we're working with one. So you can, at the moment, again, what I'm saying is it's a bit of a hen-egg problem. We need to get our course certified, and then we can be directly listed in the one driving school that we already work with. So that's nice. And then we want to scale that to more of the driving schools so that we are easier to find. But for that, we need to get that certification out of the way, which is in progress, but I have no insights into how long it'll take. They said a month, but I have a feeling that a month is like very optimistic.
This is the business end. Let me take you to the online land. So, is there any chance your organization could do a small demonstration video and share it to some organizations that could use it? Maybe your content could end up embedded. Maybe you could also ask, hey, are there big companies? You said that you had some corporate stuff as well. So maybe you could reach out to these big companies and go, hey, we're going to do a demo day, just a demo, just to familiarize everyone. Do you mind if we take some pictures? Do you mind if we talk about it on our blog? The end. Companies love when people talk about them in the right light. So of course they're going to point to you, or at least the HR portion of the website containing the how to keep people alive and how to avoid tripping on the carpet and dying. Yes, this is a real webinar I had to watch at a bank. Like how to keep from tripping on the carpet.
Tripping is very, very big in terms of accident causes. It's like, I think it's 60% or something.
I'm fully aware, but you shouldn't dedicate an entire 2-hour webinar that's made with Flash animations on it. Like, no.
Fair,
we can talk about tripping.
I give you that.
Oh my God, we were in tears with my colleagues, like watching all the ways you could trip. We could not handle it because it kept glitching and it was amazing, and we had to do replays and just great.
So tripping in German is Stolpern, and there's like a whole website that the Swiss accident insurance made. It's stolpern.ch. I wonder if that still exists. Let's see if that still exists.
Please, let's go.
Oh, come on, keyboard. Stolpern.ch. I think this might still. There we go. This still exists. They have videos and stuff like, ooh, and a cookie pop-up. Like they have it all.
I complained about it 2 hours.
It has music
about
too.
A 2-hour webinar.
Holy shit.
Martin, I complained about a 2-hour webinar and you showed me an entire website of a thing.
Yeah. And it has like a 23. Oh God.
This is pretty amazing, I have to admit. We're going off track. Oh my God, this is vital.
This is infomercials level accident though.
Please send this to me via email. I need this in my life right now.
I will do that.
But
yeah, wow.
If you are able to find this stuff, let me challenge you, because I know that link building is not your game. You know that it's not necessarily mine, because I don't. I deal with so many requests, and I'm like, why are you here? The latest one was, I'm a fashion blog. Could you please point to my, I'm not joking, web security infographic? No, I'm not. No. But at least could you share me on Twitter? No, I can't. So, Stephanie Walter has wooden sausages. Somebody keeps trying to sell her wooden sausages and get some links for them. I don't know what wooden sausages are, and neither does she, and neither does the person asking. So we're a bit confused. But let's get back.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Tell
That
me.
was wild. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I could share some next time.
I'll be honest.
Absolutely love.
I would love to see in the comments if people are only watching this for these weird like detours that we keep taking, because I think this is the core competency of our fantastic video series. But anyway, yeah.
Well, hey. We did answer Dave Smart's question. Like, his design department and his branding department needs to chill. We need Core Web Vitals. Like, sorry. So, you know, we did help a few people. I think we're going to talk about something else soon, but you know what? Let's take a detour. So I'm going to close the link building part. Mm-hmm. The link building part, you seem to have it all. Like, you know exactly who the insurance companies are. You know exactly who the companies who need your services are. You have the driving school angle. You even have the diving angle where some dive sites could point to you because CPR is always a must. You know, and you have ties with that community. So maybe a specific diving CPR page offer these services or talk about it. You garner a lot of links because people trust you in that space. So that's a big difference already. This is helping you get visible. People are talking about you. So at least you exist online now. If nobody talks about you, do you really exist? Well, yes, but in some dark corners of the web. And I'm going to give Content Square a shout out because I really love a few of their members and they're a lot of fun. And thanks to them, I got exposed to this wonderful fact. Did you know that 45% of the content online is not seen by human eyeballs?
45%. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure there's some very, very old stuff floating around. They killed Space Jam, the website, but the rest is still floating around.
I'm still sad about that. That's just like painful.
I'm bitter about it. I'm super bitter about it. But if people don't know what we're talking about, Space Jam is a website that came out in 1996, and until they decided recently to reboot the movie, it had been standing in its glory, and it was a piece of internet architecture. Like, it's archaeology, basically. It's a unique artifact that has been lost.
And it's such a beautiful example for something built in 1999 still looking fantastic on a mobile phone that didn't even exist back then. And it's just...
I can absolutely give you a few websites that have gracefully degraded over the years thanks to not being upgraded. But yeah, like, it used to be tables and figure your life out. That's it. It just works for everyone.
Yeah.
So do not put all the tables in your website. We're not in 1999. We're good. So the link portion, I trust you to basically hustle, tell people about your project, and find a smart way for them to point at it. This is tricky. Yes, but Martin, this can be tricky. So I'm gonna make a nuance because this can be useful to others. You're in a weird situation because you're kind of like a product creator and you have resellers. And I have clients that make, for example, beautiful vases, and they're sold by many boutiques. And these boutiques used to be physical, and this lady used to be at markets. So the boutiques are her reseller network, and off she is hustling, doing her own thing, and it's awesome. And now everybody's online because we were forced. So now sellers are basically showing up first on her own name and her own products, individual products, because life is unfair.
Yeah.
So and then I have to ask them, hey, lady, can you get me some links from these people? And she's like, well, they don't want to link to me because I sell the same thing, but cheaper because it's mine. So then I went, okay, so how about we do creator advice or creator tips, or we beef up your about page and have you basically send them this going, you can link to my bio if you want. I filled it up to actually help you sell. This is starting. Some of them accepted. Some of them were like, hell no, but it works. Like, you keep trying these things. And for you, you will get a lot of corporate hell no because of these reasons. So it's your turn to be creative and go, yeah, but you need me. We know you're never going to put out that content and you know it's needed. So let's go.
Yeah.
So this is my genuine advice, like, and this is my advice to anybody that's getting started with a project like this. Figure out how it can matter to some people, and that's you have already done. Figure out where you fit in, and then figure out how to just pass over the hurdles because you know they're there. There's a reason why you're trying this project. It's something that's missing. There's a reason why it's missing. It's not easy. That's why.
Yeah.
So, ta-da. But now let's move on to bigger and better things. We have closed the link building. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can you put this through Rendertron?
Yeah, I can. It's all static. It's going to come out exactly like it is right now, but I can totally put it through Rendertron.
Well, no, first you have to start like it's a magic trick, and you have to explain that Rendertron is your lovely assistant. So I'm counting on you now. Take it over.
Okay, so, oh yeah, sure. So my lovely assistant here, Rendertron, is basically a Chrome in the cloud that will render the page so that we can see how it looks like. Interestingly enough, Rendertron's, here we go. Demo instance doesn't seem to work, I wanted to say, but it actually does. And then what it does is it basically takes whatever is dynamic on the page and creates a static version of it, which is nice for bots that don't run JavaScript, such as some of the social media share bots. But for our website, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. The only thing that is different is for some reason the icon here doesn't load. That's an interesting one, but I think that's a very minor problem.
I do too, but I think that whenever we choose, and I'm thinking about your product specifically because oftentimes you will choose a medical template and that's it. And medical templates are pretty awful when it comes to rendering. Like you can't see half of the stuff, and that's bad. That's just terrible. So another piece of advice that's a bit more technical is make sure that your stuff is seen properly. Yeah. So remember how you said there's no cool stuff. When you start onboarding the cool stuff, is there a risk that, maybe some of that cool stuff is just like splotching all over and you can't see it or doesn't load? Yes. I had to deal with a cool, very cool, incredibly cool website that made me incredibly ill trying to navigate through it, but also Rendertron went, nothing. Like, I'm sorry, but I see nothing, and there's more nothing, but it's... And how do you even talk about optimizing your website when Google can't see shit on it? Like, at all. At all. Nada. That doesn't work. And it got to the point where I had to email you and go, Martin, do you know anything about the Google Ads bot? And you're like, no. And I was like, well, then help me understand something anyways. And you're like, no. And I'm like, what? Because you don't know anything about that bot. But I'm wondering, hey, if our little decks can't see stuff, what about other bots? Am I paying for ads? That sucks. That sucks. I'm not sure they're seen. So now, I have a question for you, Martin. Have you scoped out the competition? I'm knowing you have.
I did, yes.
So now, tell me what sucks about their website. Show it to me.
Oh my, I don't think showing is a good way of getting or keeping an okay standing with the community. Some of the websites have very fundamental issues. Like one of them, or like many of them actually, don't show when the next courses are.
That drives me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like the number one thing that you want when you want to book a course is know when is the next one, because you kind of, want to actually get a course. So conveniently, we do show you when the next courses happen. And that's like the first thing on the fucking course website is when the fuck is the next course, so that you can actually book them.
So I have a question for you. Are you using the course schema?
Thanks for reminding me. No, I am not.
So let's open a new Google Chrome tab and let's check it out.
Let me actually write that down real quick.
Because this is one of the things that people don't take advantage of. Damn. You have a huge... What do you mean, damn? That's why we're having this conversation this morning.
It's just bananas, because I should really know about this, and I keep forgetting this exists.
This is why we're having this conversation, Martin.
Fair.
It's because a lot of people think that you're supposed to know it all, and they get super stressed when they talk to somebody like me or somebody like any other actually SEO that has been doing this for a few years. We know an immense amount of stuff, and it's our job to know this. It's not your job to apply this on this website.
That's the thing, exactly. That's the thing that really bothers me and makes me so hesitant of showing the website to people, is like when someone would come and say like, hi, we're a course provider, what could we do to boost our website? I would say, have you tried structured data? But with my own website, because I'm thinking of the actual courses and providing the actual courses and creating the course materials and creating the guidelines for other instructors, I don't think of this stuff. This is all work that we're talking about now, which is nice to have like someone being like, Martin, you know this. That's nice. I like that.
There's a reason also why I'm doing this, is that you know this because you're behind the scenes, but I suffered from this. I have my own personal website for my own personal reasons, and somebody went on there and just basically used my own website on their private course and linked out to it so I would find it, and they're just completely trashing my website.
Yeah,
like,
that's just such a dick move.
It is a dick SEO move, and I'm not okay with this. I think that this shouldn't happen in this community. We're all trying our best, and if we're not, well, we're calling each other out, and ta-da. But the first step for you is just to feel comfortable showing how you work. I mean, this is unacceptable that you feel this way, and I really want to fight against that. So if anybody wants to reach out and help you set up some SEO, just to, have the street cred of saying, I helped Martin split with his SEO, reach out to Martin. Like, just do it. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to work, but have a good in, and yeah, sure. So now let's get back to this. The schema. Do you think that you could put this in place rather fast, or is this a challenge for you?
No.
Yes.
That's really easy to put in place.
So, do you have all the information?
Easy to put in place. I think I do. So one thing in our documentation that I need to talk to Lizzie about, because I don't understand this, why is there the definition of item list when nothing in here says item list? Unless you have like multiple courses, I guess.
I think this is it. Is if it comes as a bundle.
Okay.
So I'm not a specialist on this schema either, and to be honest with you, I'm old enough to not be able to see what's on the screen fully, so I'm chill. Like, I'm just coasting.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No. I like this. Oh well, hey, I have figured out where the full screen button is. That helps me too. Woo. Okay. So yeah, but I really like the fact that this is easy to set up for you. So this is a quick win. Now, do you know where the courses show up and what it looks like?
Hold on. It does show up in search results, but I don't know exactly what it looks like because I haven't actually seen one in the wild.
So I have seen some, and they're actually really, really nice. That's why we're going to go try to find a screenshot somewhere. Oh, and the last bit people don't know about you. You are technically how can I put this in American political dynasty terms? You are in the long line of nurses, aka your mom was a nurse as well.
Yes,
and maybe, correct. Just maybe, this is a type of information that doesn't really have any weight in terms of tangible information, but humans look at this and they're like, oh, okay. So it's a lot of people in SEO are trying to be too clinical about this, and I really, really want people to just breathe in, or maybe some of them just need to let that fart they've been holding it out and let it go. Just have a little fun.
The best thing is probably that becoming a nurse after my mother was a nurse was my teenage rebellion. So.
See, I don't think I had that phase, or I don't think I ever left to that phase, the teenage rebellion. Like, my mom's diagnosis of me was, when you were young, you were weird, but I thought you would grow out of it. That's it.
We never do.
That's the
Never
point.
do.
Oh, I feel so ashamed when I go to the supermarket. Like, very often I will look at the cashier looking at the stuff we buy. I'm like, we're both 35 years old, just so you know. Or when we have a super healthy basket, I'm like, just so you know, this is our one healthy basket. I want you to celebrate with me. And so we celebrate. And then the other end is when I usually buy the regular stuff, which involves lots of Haribo candy. I usually have the attention of every single kid around me, and they agree on my basket choices. Like, we look at each other, and the moms are trying to tell them not to get this piece of candy, and they're looking at me going, "But look at the adult, look at the adult." So we've had many encounters at the grocery store. But we know what the good candy is. We have experience.
Good candy, the best candy. All right, so this is adding it to the content. Now it needs to deploy, which takes a few minutes, and then we can test this.
Okay, so now we can test this.
Yeah, I mean, it needs like a few minutes to deploy, probably.
No, you forgot. We're supposed to hunt first on like a screenshot of what it looks like to show people.
Ah, okay.
This is kind of like a cooking show. You show the finished result, but you're still cooking.
And that's something interesting because I think none of our competitors did this when I checked.
That's what I thought. I had a feeling because when you said, I don't want to show them, that's already you being very gentlemanly. That means that the competition must be very, very unshowable for now. And
To be
that's
fair, like their website is fine or was fine 10 years ago and kind of continues to exist and I guess serve their purpose well enough.
yes, it's a case of Space Jam. It's fine.
Yeah.
But the reality is, when you say, I don't know when the next goddamn course is, you know that schema is probably not going to be there. So
That is true.
This is a huge opportunity when it comes to this, not necessarily to position yourself number one, etc., but to provide the proper information where people seek it. The end. The end. Oh,
tractors. It's not a tractor. It's
see,
probably
okay.
a tractor. This is a tractor for sure.
Let me call it out. I don't know what it is with me, but they just give me like the boat and the bikes. I never get the tractors, and I love tractors. Okay, I'm upset about this. I
This is
never
the
saw
first time I get the tractors. Normally, I get red lights, which is very boring.
This ties me to another anecdote, Martin. I know that you're going to putz around here, but I have to tell you something. When I first moved to Canada, my first visa was fine. It was like one of those work vacation visas. Then the second one was a serious young person working in Quebec thing. It's a deal, like jeune professionnel. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was expressly forbidden from working at a titty bar and giving massages. My colleague who got the same one was forbidden from working on a farm. Do you understand the awkward HR conversations I had with people asking me why I'm limiting my life choices? So then I have photographic evidence of this. Like, we scanned them. Like, it was insane. So I ended up by DMing a friend of mine at her new job, via Google chat and going, well, I'm 27. It's now or never. My tits are in the prime time. I need to do this. Why is the visa limiting me? And she got back to me 2 hours later because she knows my type of humor, clearly. And she went, just so you know, everyone in the team that is supposed to set up my computer loves you. So she saw the message after 10 IT guys saw it and they wanted to meet me. And I was like, you will be sorely disappointed. So now let's go back to the preview.
This is wonderful. Why does my visa forbid me to do this in the prime time?
If anybody wants to see that visa, I will dig it up from my Google Drive vault. Like, it's amazing. And Canada, I'm still waiting for an explanation on this. Thank you very much. Like, I tried to dig deep and figure out that maybe, there's a lot of sex trafficking, but then explain the farm thing for my colleague. Did you look at him and go, you're not allowed near animals? Like, what's going on?
Strategic sheep purposes.
So this is supposed to work, or what do you need to fix?
So it is supposed to work, but I really don't like that the description starts with something that is not very helpful. So I try to rewrite the description so that it comes like it's a little snappier, I guess.
So where is the description coming from?
From the structured data that I'm providing, and I copied and pasted what you'll learn in the course, and maybe copy and pasting was not the best strategy.
So,
I know copywriters
no.
exist for a reason.
No. This is perfect. So you have to know that most people are not like you. They don't copy paste code. They use plugins, and the plugin does what? It does the same thing you did.
Mm-hmm.
It just will just. And the problem with that is very often you will end up with once upon a time King Arthur, and you're like, no, we're talking about apples here. So this is a real case scenario for me, by the way. So they started the text with once upon a time King Arthur just to explain the whole story of apples. This was a grocery store. Yes, they were doing the food blogger thing, and I don't know why. And then at the end they explain to you which apples are best here. I'm like, no. Start with saying which ones are the best apples. The end. Done. So for you, it's the same thing. Like, just so you know, everybody does that, whether it be automated or humans. We have a tendency to copy paste. It's easier. But then what makes a difference is to actually check out, preview the thing and see what it looks like. And that's when you decide, does it pass or does it not pass?
Sorry. I am multilingual, but my brain can't mix that much. Okay.
So, hey, this leads me to another thing we can talk about real quick. Let's talk about your mom.
Mm-hmm.
So, the reason why I was interested in discussing this bit today is that your website is in English, is in German. I get to sound like I'm insulting someone somewhere when it's not the case.
Your mom.
Exactly. So just so you know, you need to Google something for me. You need to Google Mom Futurama, but you probably know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. Yeah.
So open the builder portion. So I'm really proud to say,
yes.
Yeah, I did. Pay no mind to my accent. So you can see that Mom is basically the equivalent of Mr. Burns, but in a sci-fi version of The Simpsons Futurama. It's one of my favorite shows. And
I love this show so much.
Yeah. And this lady, as you can see, is very similar to Trump in the sense that she has three children, and they are challenging each other in the world. But she has taken over the world, and she is basically part of the mom robot, friendly robot company. So now let's talk about your mom. What is the difference between your mom and this mom?
They are diametrically different. I think my mother is one of the kindest, nicest people in the world, and she did so much for her kids. It's bananas. Her kids meaning also me and my sister. She really made sure that we had a good start into life. She worked a lot, and I am eternally angry with the German healthcare system for taking advantage of people like my mother and others working in healthcare professions and basically, being treated like modern slaves, more or less.
It's not the German health system alone, sadly, and
I know.
I think it's one of those opportunities where your project is the ability to learn also how to give visibility to these healthcare professionals that they don't necessarily know how to get. So in academia, it's the same. There's this cartel of people that benefit from the work of others, and scientists, researchers cannot get visibility online for what they do or give pieces of advice. Most of the time when I see healthcare providers providing advice online, it's through Reddit because they're anonymous and they don't fear. So I think that if we go back to your project, can you load it for me? Because I love Mom, but she's scaring me right now. This is really, really, really helpful because you're paragliding around this giant monolith that is problematic. Healthcare is hugely problematic. And I'm not saying that we have all the right solutions. I'm not saying they should be broken apart. I'm just saying that at our scale, we can't necessarily help or improve the system. We don't have much leverage. Your website provides leverage, except that The problem is because there's this monolith, many websites have preferred to cure cancer and help you with your third testicle, or maybe help you with testicular cancer when you don't have it. Like if you leave me on WebMD for half an hour, I will come back to you and tell you I have prostate cancer. Like it's a thing. I self-diagnose. So with this in mind, if I'm looking for this information and I don't speak German, I don't speak English, I speak French or I speak Italian in Switzerland. Today, there isn't that limit. There isn't that problem of trying to overcome stuff. You're not stuck trying to find the right information, but maybe you're the third wheel. So what I mean about this is when we think of Switzerland, at least when I think of Switzerland, I think very often of French because I'm French. And I think very often of the German side because most of my friends are from there. But I do have Italian friends that are Swiss. They're just not as visible. It always feels like they're a bit left aside. So I'm wondering if this information is not going to be useful to them now in the future because we're able to understand multiple languages. And while you and I, we can't modify on the fly. Like I speak 3 languages, but I do the same thing as you. I'm like, stop, just a moment, stop talking in English. I need to type in French. Google doesn't have that limitation. Google's like, yes, let me handle 75 languages. So technically, your website would be able to help others that don't necessarily have access to this information. And this is something that I find absolutely amazing because in all technicality, do you need to do anything to participate in this process?
You mean the courses?
Yeah.
No, you don't have any prerequisites.
You can just, no, but not just the courses. Somebody looking for your courses, looking, how do I sign up for this course? Is this course available? Google will go, hey, I don't have that data in Italian, but let me just, real quick. Yeah, we got something for you in German, but we'll answer in your language. Let's go. And this for Switzerland, this is going to be amazing. For Quebec, this is amazing. For Luxembourg, because, well, I do for English a lot. So you're like, I can't find the thing. And then you're like, okay, I need this vital piece of information. And then you're like, okay, let me Google Translate this and then see if this fits and then use the notepad and then double check if this makes sense. And okay, I maybe have the right information, but I had to translate it from German. Oh, that's terrifying. Like, let's look at it. So we better. Holy crap. Health is life, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Like, yeah.
A course for life.
Roughly.
A life-saving course. That's what I'm going to guess. For, and then I'm seeing Führer. Am I going to stop here? Because, like...
Where are we? Are you... okay. Führerausweisbewerbende. That's the applicants for a driving license.
Do you realize how terrifying that word sounds?
I am aware.
Okay, so if I'm trying to decipher this without the help of Google's new input, I'm probably going to kill someone just because I get frustrated. But it's one of those situations where when you enter in a country, so I moved to Germany many years ago, and I needed a helper. And I was learning German. It's just there was nothing to help me figure stuff out. So, for example, if I'm going through, I'm landing in Switzerland and I'm French. Je suis française réellement. Maybe I could work. Let's pretend that, well, your company is hiring me. Ta-da!
Yay!
And I need to refresh my course. How do I find the information if I type it in French? I know I speak English, like I can figure my life out later, but I need access to that information. You need to do nothing with this website to help me access it now. This is one of those things I'm excited about. I'm looking forward to seeing how this content performs to people who basically speak English, but not quite as well as a native, or don't think to search for your content in Switzerland. They're looking for it in the 2 other languages that you don't have on there. This is one of those realities. So let's see how it plays out. That means that we put it on video right now, and maybe in a year we talk about it.
Okay. So,
well,
How would I go about that?
You don't need to. I'm going to ask your colleague, boss, human that lights up your days with cheese knowledge. I want to know John's
Ah,
take on this. This is
John.
one. Yes, this is one of those great things where you can just turn to John and go, "How do you predict the future of CPR courses in Switzerland?"
John is going to love this. Yeah.
I know, I know. Which, hey, before we're gonna have to wrap this up. So
Hmm.
we're going to talk about this website as we go on our adventures a little bit more, I
Hmm.
think, because there's some great stuff that we can use here, and we can check if the rich snippets do show up at the end
Hmm.
of the day. Like, I want an update,
Oh
but
my.
you tell me about animals you have found recently.
Oh, we recently actually went to a dive site that is very well known for toads to meet there and mate. And we actually did find them. And it's kind of hilarious because the males during mating season are very enthusiastic, I think puts it nicely. And if you give them something that remotely resembles potentially a female toad, then they're just going to jump on it, which led
I
to
have
beautiful pictures of toads in our hands,
Wait,
because
I
they
was
just
going to
jumped on
tell
the.
you what would look hypothetically like a female toad, and then you answered a few minutes later with hands.
Yeah,
I
if they are in, hold on, let me share this with you. So if they look familiar enough, and apparently our gray, slightly wrinkly gloves actually look enough for them to actually climb on us. You see, like this part down here, they potentially thought of as, ooh, this might be a female. So they jumped on, and I'm like, ooh, hi, how's it
I'm
going?
I'm trying to find a polite way to tell you that you were molested by toads for a while. I'm I'm very amazed about this. So it's mating season right now.
It was. I think it's over at this point.
So I have a question for you. Do you know that there is a Twitter person called the Toad Lady who shares toad pictures every day because it's her favorite animals? And yes, she is in tech, and yes, she does make video games.
Whoa. Okay. No, I did not know that.
Eh,
But I'm not super surprised.
So
Hold
now,
on. Do we? No, that's
yes.
that's also a single one. Hold on, because we saw some while they were in action. Let's put it that way. Yeah. No.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you while you look for
Mm.
this. Oh, wait, are those CPR shots?
Those are CPR shots. Yeah.
Show me the CPR shots. Are they going to make it onto the website? Do you have
A
permission to
few of
do
them
that?
are. Yeah. A few of them are already on the website.
Okay,
Actually, they're
can we
not on
go
the
back?
website. They're on social media. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They should be on the website.
Yeah.
L- Open there. You have like so much more diversity than what I usually see when it comes to CPR. Because go in Google, please, and type in like CPR
Hold on.
CPR
Let's go
course.
to.
Can you type in CPR course? Ah, I'm putting us off track again, but I had a
That's okay.
great
That's perfectly fine.
so you see what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you want to look at CPR, what you have to understand is the dummy is always the same color. It's almost always in the same position. So I'm I'm seeing that there's always like you have the gloves, you have the thing, you know the colors that you're supposed to have, and blah blah blah. So looking at this, what I usually do is I look at this and I go, so how can I stereotype myself? So end up number one, I see that what I need to have is not necessarily people, but just hands on the dummy or a group of people with their heads down doing this for some reason. And hey, that does look similar to yours. And then I
Mm.
go, okay, so what can I do better? What is better? What is different? What changes? So this piece of advice is actually really useful when you take pictures because you're like, okay, so the machine has understood what millions of people are looking for, right? And
Mm.
it expects a CPR course to look like this, to look like it contains training. Okay, I gotta have some gloves or I gotta have some visible hands. And this is something I tested, like just like you when we're discussing this. I'm presenting this like I am the end all and I know everything on the web. Hell no, I don't. I just love trying stuff. I got pissed off a while back at, can you look for, what was it, Google Analytics marketing or something like that? Huh, this is interesting. So can you go on Unsplash, please? Unsplash.com.
Yeah, hold on.
Because quote unquote growing up, so look for Google Analytics, please. It's usually always the same thing. As you see, it's either crappy screenshots on the right, or you have like a phone, and I'm like, yeah, who uses Google Analytics every day on a phone? And then you usually have like a coffee cup, hands on the laptop. It's not a desktop, it's a laptop. And you usually see the screen. And if you go down just a bit
Ooh,
more,
that's the New York office.
you'd be surprised how many googly things are on there. Wait, go back up. There's so few Google Analytics visuals that, as you can see on the left, there is one is Google Search Console.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. Oh my God.
It's because when you look at stock photos, like, I'm so angry because it's usually a dude in a suit pointing at an imaginary wall, or there's like a little bot, like the white little blobs figurines pointing at stuff, or it's two hands, not one hand, two hands on a laptop. And
Yeah,
so I read these
they're-
tests. Like, some of these pictures are clearly mine because I got fed up during the pandemic, and some of them are some of my friends. And I literally went, "Hey, I need two hands on the laptop. I need a coffee cup. That's it." Like that. There is a plant here that can pass for a coffee cup. We tried with one hand. It
This
doesn't
is
work. It doesn't show up as well.
hilarious. This
I
is
know.
absolutely hilarious. The amount of
So
pictures
you
that
see,
are from you is amazing.
I rank so well. I am and click on the Google Search Console one, please. Click on the Google Search Console one. Can we see the tags? Can you, on the bottom right, can you click on info?
Info.
You don't get to see it, but I put in a lot
Okay.
of I put in data science tags. I am now on the biggest Medium publications for data science. They keep reusing me. Like, can I share my screen?
Yes, please do. Oh God, this is
I need to,
amazing. I love it.
I need So we're gonna close on this because I think that this is hilarious, and I'm not alone. Like, this is a test I ran with another SEO lady that I really like. So shout out to Alize. So yeah, I like to give visibility to people for the 30 people who watch us, you know. So, and not even 30 people, I think. So it was 6 a.m. when I started this show. Okay, so these are my stats, and it will show you, like, I'm really happy to show this off as well. This is since the start of the pandemic. Like, I did this in April of last year. I was not on Unsplash before. So as you can see, I'm like towards data science, and I have like, I can see all the uses. So
Holy
and
moly.
I have so many like Figma people using me. I'm on Notion, I'm on Trello, but I'm laughing because I'm used on Google Slides. This is amazing
Wow.
for me. I'm used on Typeform. Like, I got invited to a webinar that used my stock photo as the welcome like landing page banner thing. It was hilarious. And
Wow.
all I did, just a moment. So which one is the most downloaded? Just downloads.
This
Okay,
is
just a moment.
amazing.
Wait. It clearly says what it is, right? But the tags are like data science, data scientist, and it gets downloaded. This is Google Analytics. Okay, this is not Tableau. This is not like some R code. And what I
Wow.
really enjoy is that this one is also very much downloaded for these reasons. Like, I saw it used, and data
Google
science, it works.
SEO.
It's the magic.
Data science.
That's it.
Data
I
science.
I
All of
tried to
it
be
is data science.
Oh my god, it's amazing. It's just, and I
Wow.
highly recommend you try this. Type in if there's CPR courses. Throw up your image. After that, you contact the people going, "Hey, you use my picture. Did you know that I have a website for this?
This
Here it
is
is." That's
awesome.
it.
This is ridiculous. That's
I
amazing.
I I haven't used this technique yet. That means that I literally have to work on this, and I don't want to, which is contact like the
I
thousands of
feel
people that
that.
point. Yeah, I feel that pain, but you know that it's fun to think about these things. Like, I like to try these
Amazing.
things.
Oh God, this is
So are
awesome.
we gonna get some CPR stock photos?
I guess we are, yeah. Yeah, why wouldn't we? This
I
is
I would love for you to do this. It would be great. It would really help the community because everybody's looking for CPR stock photos. I mean, when I mean everybody's like anybody in HR trying to keep everybody else alive. Actually, you know what, Martin? Give me a CPR photo. I have an HR client that could give you your first link from Quebec. Send it to me, and I need a piece of advice from an expert like you on how to keep employees alive. So now we need a quote for this.
Yeah.
And now we're in business. But no, seriously, I think this lady has questions for you because that would help her.
That sounds nice. Yeah, very happy to help.
I'm going to have to run because the day is starting, but I had a lot of fun. And if anybody wants to submit a website that we could review for technical reasons or not, send it to us. We'll have fun.
Yeah.
If not, we're going to continue this one because it's important.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Miriam, for taking the time. Thanks for everyone watching the video. This has been a lot of fun and scary, but also fun. I'm really, really looking forward to the upcoming next couple of episodes. And yeah, if you want a website review, post it in the comments below and we'll take a look. Thanks a lot.
À bientôt tout le monde. Au revoir.
Ciao, ciao. Macht's gut. Bleibt gesund.